bike needs no introduction. It's the Project Caledonia as it's become known on ride media. It's come and gone sporadically on the YouTube channel. And unfortunately it sort of hasn't panned out the way that I'd like to have done it. Where it was going to be an unboxing, a workshop session, first ride, second ride, third ride, component swap and a whole range of different features in a sequential order. Unfortunately it didn't work out that way, just because of circumstance. There's been a few of the workshop sessions posted and I think they're the most valuable because you get to see Anthony Challinor talk through some of the detail of what it's like to build a bike like this. It's a special frame. I've really enjoyed riding it. I've ridden it almost every day since I built it back in October. And I've taken it on trails a little bit, but I wouldn't exactly call it my gravel bike. It's spent most of the time on the road. I've done over 3,000 kilometres on it. In the whole time I've ridden it, I've only ridden with one bin cage and no spares, which I usually carry in the second bin cage. In other words, I've ridden the whole time without a spare tube, even in my pocket. I haven't carried a pump or a CO2 canister, I haven't had a puncture, and touch wood, I haven't had any issues with it mechanically. The only thing I can tell you is that the blip temporarily stopped working because I yanked on this lever and just pulled the housing a little bit and it disconnected that little extra cable. I had that fixed really quickly, and aside from that I've done very, very little to it other than change out the saddle. And this is a Repente one, I'll tell you more about it later. I've got the original bar tape. I put some lights on every now and again. I've had the chain recently degreased. I've had some issues with the wheels insofar that they collected a whole lot of water, but that's another story, I can't paraphrase that. With that intro out of the way, I'm just going to throw to Anthony in the workshop, giving the basics of how to fit the tubeless wheels to road rims. It's been done for an eternity in mountain bike world. Road cyclists are just getting used to the idea, and with good reason. Zipp 303 with Pirellis. The last element of the puzzle is some Pirelli 32mm Cinturato tyres. Make sure you check the links. There's some explanation of why I've selected them and the tech behind them. We're going tubeless because Zipp has asked that we go tubeless. I'm not going to talk because I'm a roadie and every roadie seems to want to avoid tubeless, but how do you feel about it?
I don't run tubeless. I find I have no problems with punctures. I only run about 80 psi in a 26mm tyre and don't really have any hassles. So the advantage of going tubeless for me isn't there. But if you're going lower pressure, larger tyres again, the chances of getting pinch flats is opened up, it increases. So yes, you want to be, thinking about running a tubeless, especially if you're the heavier rider. You want to run a lower pressure, the chances of getting pinch flat is even higher again. On these rims, you're running a Hawkless bead. So there's, as you can see, they're straight walls on either side of the rim. So these aren't for a tube and clincher style of tyre, so it's got to be a tubeless compatible tyre. Could you run a tube in this? Yes, if you do get a puncture you can patch up the hole and run a tube, so that'll be fine, but you need to run a tubeless specific tyre. Okay, in the pack of wheels We get the tubeless valve and lock nut and rubber washer. This goes straight in, it'll go in nice and easy. So it's rubberized and shaped for the rim, so that'll seal nicely once we install the lock nut and rubber seal. Down with the rubber seal. Give it a jiggle. Nice and firm. Okay, get the valve. Very important, get the logo nice and lined up with the valve. Not like that. Let's see how easy these go on. Pretty straightforward.
With the hookless thing, that's why it was so easy. Is that right?
Not always. It comes down to the type of tyre, the type of rim, that combination. Some rims, some brands don't like each other very much and they can be extremely hard. Yeah, this one seems to go on quite well and easy. So if you do get a flat, it's going to be easy to take that off and install the tube.
What about sealant?
Yeah, in a minute. I like just actually seeing how it actually be as seat, first, and then I can just pop it open, get some sealant in and move on. So I've set this up, no sealant inside. I want it to, the bead to seat. There isn't a hook on it, but that's okay. But I want it to seat quite well all the way around, so we need a big burst of air straight away to get it to seat straight away, and then I can actually hear whether there's any leaking going on. Then we'll just let the air out, break the bead at one point, get some sealant in, and then bingo, we should be right.
And can you do it without an air compressor?
It's tricky. Some you can, some you can't. No, that's not fun. That's it.
How'd you get an arsehole like a rabbit's nose? Do tubeless tyres.
So why did that, what was the issue?
What was the issue? Probably not enough pressure on this one.
And then so it just suddenly caught?
Yeah, enough air's gone in and slowly pushed it out and then bang, it's gone. Yeah. So now it's done. So now I'm going to let the air out. We'll pop open the bead a small amount, get the sealant in, close it up, and then bang, it'll go off nicely without getting sealant everywhere.
If you'd tried that with sealant, it would have been a bloody mess.
Yeah, you get it all over the place. Absolutely. Here we could easily check whether it was going to leak at a certain point, because if you have a lot of holes with it not seated properly, the sealant will just get blown out at multiple points and you'll lose half your sealant and you'll end up with a massive mess. So we know that the valve isn't leaking, that's not going to be a problem, and now it's just get sealant in and away we go. So only take off a small amount.
Oh, okay, so you're not putting it through the valve?
No. If you put it through the valve, you'll clog up the valve quite a lot, and we want to try to avoid that if we can. So always keep the valve up nice and high. Sealant really needs to go to the outside. As the wheel spins, it'll get flicked out to the outside. That's where it needs to do its job. Air back into it. This time, much quicker. Work the tyre. Any spots where it sounds like it's leaking. roll it around, gets the sealant to move around. We haven't got any sealant near the valve. And we're done.
Sweet as a nut.
Just making sure the sealant works its way in around the bead of the tyre and to reduce the risk of slow air seepage. And then, as you see, some of the excess sealant has come out, and that will seal, giving you a much better airtight fit.
What I did want to say, apart from not carrying any spares, is that I have gone and followed the route that the manufacturers want me to do, and I've gone really low pressures. I'm actually riding around 50 to 55 psi, depending on if it's wet or dry. And the stick and the grip into the corners is fantastic, and the comfort factor is enormously obvious. I've talked about it before, but you're basically eliminating that feedback that you get from pea gravel, and I highly recommend it. It's a really, really good riding sensation, and in all of my years of talking about comfort on the bike, I think the 32mm rubber, tubeless, low pressure, on a bike like this has given me the most efficient, let's say watts saving, comfort ride that I've ever had on a road bike.